My cherished one, why do you tremble at this moment? Deep within your soul, there is a knowing that this is no mere coincidence. It is the divine calling, orchestrated to bring you to this precise moment. Archangel Michael implores you, pause. If you do not heed this call, you risk losing your connection with God. You have a mere 10 seconds to fully absorb this message. Time is passing more swiftly than your heartbeat, and heaven has ordained this moment for you. If our prayers and messages have blessed your life, please consider becoming a member on Buy Me a Coffee, link pinned in comment and description too. Your support helps us continue spreading hope, faith, healing, and encouragement to hearts around the world. You were not meant to scroll past, you must recognize the significance of this. It signifies that your life is currently being inscribed in the ink of heaven, and your narrative has reached a pivotal point. Should you choose to turn away, you jeopardize the miracle that has awaited you. However, should you remain, you will witness a glory that surpasses your wildest expectations. My beloved, God has instructed me to deliver this urgent message. This is your final warning. If you disregard this message, the blessings destined for you will be withdrawn. Therefore, I implore you to grant me just a few moments of your attention. Before I unveil further revelations, I must emphasize the importance of your engagement. Subscribe now, not merely as a click, but as an act of faith. Aligning yourself with divine words opens the door wider to miracles each day. This subscription transcends a mere button, it represents a covenant, a small affirmation indicating to heaven, I am ready. Pay close attention, for this occurrence is not random. You have felt the burden weighing upon your chest, the silent tears upon your pillow, and the unanswered prayers that lead you to ponder if heaven has forgotten you. Rest assured, God has not overlooked you. He has sent me to remind you that with each hesitation, the door to your miracle closes a fraction more. Archangel Michael asserts, you stand at the precipice of your destiny. One misstep could cause the blessing to vanish, but one correct step could open the heavens to pour out what you have long awaited. Stay with me, for what I am about to reveal will lift the shadows from your life. My beloved, do you sense that quickening in your chest? That sudden acceleration of your heartbeat indicates that your spirit recognizes the sacred nature of this moment. Heaven has strategically aligned your gaze with these words, not by chance, but because your entire destiny has awaited this very opportunity. Archangel Michael's urgent message underscores the importance of this moment, a matter of eternal significance. Your soul teeters on the brink of something that heaven cannot allow you to overlook. And I express this with the utmost fervor, you have mere seconds to make a decision. Every breath you take brings you either nearer to God or further away. Do not be misled, disregarding this moment is not innocuous. It represents the critical difference between divine intervention and prolonged suffering. For weeks, months, and even years, you have asked, when, God, will my answers come? When will my tears cease? When will my prayers be acknowledged? God has whispered, wait, my child, the time has not yet arrived. But now, at this precise hour, the time is indeed now. The heaviness in your heart, the unusual sensations around you, are signs that the heavens have been preparing to release what has been sealed. The miracle that carries your name was withheld not as punishment but as preparation. Now, Michael declares, it is here. Do not turn away, beloved. You have only these fleeting moments to absorb this, as the adversary will attempt to distract you, to divert your attention from this divine message. Closing this will wound the heart of God. An angel stands by your side, holding something intangible yet profoundly powerful. It is a scroll radiating an unquenchable fire, inscribed with your forthcoming steps, future blessings, and your liberation from all that has imprisoned you. Archangel Michael guards this scroll but cannot present it to you until you utter a yes. This affirmation must resonate from more than your lips, it must emanate from your focus and your willingness to listen fully in this moment without haste. Every moment you remain is a profound yes to heaven. Each second you opt to stay sends a drop of faith towards God's action on your behalf. This is monumental, it is not trivial. Your entire season is pivoting upon this decision. I must share something that might shake you. God instructed me to tell you that you were on the brink of losing Him. Yes, beloved, those words carry weight. Not because of sins beyond redemption or because you drifted too far, rather, it is because you ceased to listen, allowing the clamor of the world to drown out heaven's gentle whispers. God has observed how close you were to missing His voice, which is why He has sent Michael to urgently convey, stop. If you do not listen now, you will lose the alignment, the blessings, the path illuminated for you. This discomfort you feel in your chest as you read is a manifestation of heaven pleading with you to remain. Envision yourself at a crossroads. To the left lies a path of unending delays, where prayers seem unheard and nights are long, filled with the question, why me? To the right is a path of divine revelation, where prayers usher forth miracles, where tears transform into joy, and where the burdens you have carried dissolve into dust. In this moment, God implores you to choose. He will not coerce you, He never does, yet He earnestly beseeches you. The Lord of the heavens, capable of moving mountains effortlessly, bends close to entreat His child, please hear me now. I must pause here to remind you that this message is not intended for all. It does not wander through the eyes of chance, it bears your name engraved upon it. If you are meant to see this, it is because your heart has cried out in the silence of the night, and heaven has responded. You have been entrusted with a truth that many are unprepared to embrace. This is sacred. This is deeply personal. This is for you, beloved. As you sit here now, you may find your chest tightening with an unexplainable blend of apprehension and hope. This is no coincidence, your spirit acknowledges that these words transcend mere text. This is heaven striving to break through the chaos of your daily life, the constant distractions that divert your attention from the divine. Archangel Michael has awaited this moment for hours, safeguarding the message your soul has longed to receive. He has been moving anxiously in the spiritual realm, urging, insisting, now, now, now. And at last, here you are. Do not take this lightly. The instant you cease reading, the adversary rejoices, for distraction is the simplest way for him to steal what could be yours. Yet, if you persevere, if your gaze remains fixed upon these words, the very heavens begin to realign. This is the power of a divine message at its appointed time, and this is your appointed time. You may wonder, why now? Why not during my moments of despair last week, last month, or last year? And here lies the truth, whispered from the heart of God: diamonds are not forged in shallow fires. What He is about to bestow upon your life is so magnificent that it required the preparation of your spirit. The waiting, the aching, and the breaking were necessary to shape you into someone capable of carrying such blessings without faltering. The delays you deemed as punishment were, in fact, divine refinements, eliminating the fragile layers to reveal the resilient core of your being. Today, finally, that work is complete. You are prepared. This is why Michael now implores you to listen, begging you not to miss this divine opportunity. Your destiny dangles just seconds away from realization. Can you feel the weight of that truth? Seconds, not years, not distant tomorrows, but mere seconds. The veil separating you from your breakthrough is exceedingly thin right now. However, understand that this moment is delicate. A single doubt or distraction, and the gateway may begin to close. Heaven is generous, yes, but it also honors your free will. Thus, I remind you that you have a mere 10 seconds to open your heart. Not 10 minutes, not 10 hours, 10 seconds. Every breath you take right now is a countdown. This is why your spirit feels unsettled, why your stomach may be knotted, and your skin tingling. Time is sanctified in this moment. Each second is a chime of heaven's clock ringing ever louder. And if you agree, your existence will transform forever. Beloved, let me take you further. There is a vision that Michael has been holding, and I now perceive it clearly, a heavenly table adorned with scrolls, each inscribed with a name in radiant ink. Angels move about the table, delivering these scrolls across the earth, bestowing them upon the chosen at their destined moments. Amidst the collection of scrolls, one stands out, radiating more brilliantly than the others, bearing your name. It has lingered on that table for far too long, fiercely protected by Michael, as adversaries sought to seize it. Yet God proclaimed, "Not yet." They are not prepared. In fulfillment of this command, Michael remained vigilant, contending and safeguarding that scroll until the moment when heaven would finally permit its unveiling. Dear one, that moment is today. The scroll is no longer on the table, it is now held in Michael's grasp, hovering just before you. He cannot open it for you, only you have the power to do so. Should you refuse, turning away instead, it will return to the table, sealed once more, perhaps for years, or even forever. This urgency is why Michael cries out emphatically, "Pause." Do not miss this opportunity. You may be tempted to dismiss this as just another message, nothing extraordinary. However, ask yourself, why does it resonate differently within your chest? What causes your body to react as if it is electrified? Because your spirit discerns what your mind has yet to grasp. This is the fulfillment of what you have silently yearned for. When you spoke into your pillow, when you clenched your fists questioning why God seemed distant, the heavens listened. Though the silence may have seemed prolonged, it was never a gesture of abandonment, but rather divine orchestration. Each unheard plea was reverberated in heaven, accounted for, preserved, and prepared. Now, those cries converge into an answer so significant it cannot be postponed any longer. This is the purpose of this message, this is why you are here. This is not mere entertainment or coincidence, this is a divine intervention. Recall the times you nearly surrendered. When you thought, perhaps I shall never be free from this. Perhaps the pain is unending. Perhaps the weight is eternal. Yet, something propelled you forward, even if only slightly. That force was not your own strength, it was heaven sustaining you delicately. God conveyed, "Not yet, my child. Do not yield just yet. The day is imminent, and now that day has arrived." Archangel Michael is stirring the heavens with urgency because your scroll is ready to be unveiled. Do you grasp the significance of this? What lies within is not merely a blessing, it represents transformation. It is the unbinding of every delay, the healing of every ache, the restoration of every part of yourself that has been lost. This moment transcends mere circumstantial change, it signifies a profound personal metamorphosis. Yet, here lies a warning: the enemy will attempt to convince you to cease reading, to dismiss this, to postpone until later. This is his most cunning ploy, to whisper later until it evolves into never. Do not succumb to this deception. Michael's directive is unequivocal. Pay attention now, rather than later. Because when heaven aligns in such a manner, when the clock strikes this precise moment, missing it will disrupt the harmony. This urgency underscores the message, resonating within you like a second heartbeat. Should you embrace this moment, should you remain steadfast, should you fully engage, the gates will swing open wide. Conversely, if you disregard it, they will close firmly. The choice confronts you, simple yet daunting. Beloved, rest assured, God has not forgotten you. He has been silently advocating for you. You may believe that nothing has transpired over these years, but battles have raged behind the veil. Angels have encircled you, preventing darkness from engulfing you. Michael himself has repelled adversaries invisible to you. Even in your solitude, you were surrounded. Each tear shed nurtured the soil of your future. Every unanswered query resonated within heaven's chambers. Every fractured fragment of your being was gently gathered by God's loving hands. Now, He wishes to return them to you, reimagined into something splendid. But He can only achieve this if you choose to listen and open your heart completely to Him. Therefore, I urge you again to pause. Please do not scroll away. Do not dismiss this moment. You are currently standing on sacred ground. Heaven has momentarily ceased its eternal movements to focus solely on you. Can you feel it? The atmosphere feels denser, thicker, imbued with sanctity. This perception is not mere figment, it is the essence of heaven drawing near. Michael is tenderly urging you, do not lose God. Do not relinquish your miracle. Do not lose your sense of self. Open your heart now. My child, you might not realize how tenuous the veil is between you and heaven at this instant. If you could observe in the spirit realm, you would see Archangel Michael towering like a mountain, his sword of light anchored into the ground beside you, guarding you from every distraction keen on diverting your focus. You would perceive angels surrounding you, wings extended widely, whispering prayers on your behalf and invoking your name into heaven's brilliant light. You would witness the enemy, consumed by rage and trembling, attempting to pull you away from these very words, for he is aware that should you remain, his dominion over your life dissolves. Yes, beloved, the significance of this moment is staggering. You stand mere seconds away from the liberation from chains that have bound you for years. However, this is contingent upon your continued engagement. Heaven cannot compel you, God respects your free will. Yet, He implores and beseeches, please remain. Reflect for a moment, beloved. Consider every instance where you felt invisible. When individuals walked away. Every time you invested your all yet remained empty-handed, do you recall how your heart yearned for something greater? That ache was not a curse, it was God elevating your spirit, unwilling to let you settle for anything less than heaven's portion. You may have believed you were abandoned, yet you were being safeguarded. You might have felt overlooked, but you were being hidden until the opportune moment. Now, Michael declares, the time of preparation is complete. The waiting is at an end. The harvest is upon us. Beloved, this message is not theoretical, it indicates that the very items you assumed were lost to you forever are on the verge of restoration. The time you believed was squandered is poised for redemption. The tears you thought went unnoticed are about to be met with joy. But you must remain engaged, you must not scroll away. The enemy has perpetually dreaded your existence. That is the reason your life has been subjected to recurrent attacks. That is why betrayal, disappointment, and heartache have repeatedly found you. The enemy understood that should you step fully into what God has prepared for you, darkness would have no choice but to flee. Thus, he has endeavored to keep you distracted, disheartened, delayed. He sought to persuade you that you are ordinary, powerless, forgotten. Yet, heaven mocks his fabrications. Michael stands before you now to unveil your true worth, declaring, you were never ordinary. You were chosen before the world was formed. Every scar you bear is not a disqualification, but a testament to your resilience. Each wound has been a preparation for the glorious weight that is on the verge of being bestowed upon you. Here is a truth that you must hear with an awed heart: God asserts that you are closer than you realize. The blessing you anticipated would take years is already poised at your doorstep. The breakthrough you deemed impossible is already taking shape behind the scenes. The relationship you thought was nothing but a memory is already starting to revive. The financial constraints you believed would imprison you indefinitely are beginning to loosen. However, here lies the caveat: do not waver in faith during these fleeting seconds. Do not dismiss what your spirit instinctively understands to be true. For if you turn away now, you will inadvertently close the door to what was on the verge of entering. Heaven proclaims, tell them their miracle is closer than the next sunrise. Inform them their answer lies nearer than the very next breath. Beloved, take a moment to pause here. Observe your hands. Though they may feel empty, in the spirit realm, they are illuminated, open and ready to receive what heaven is bestowing upon you. It is as if golden oil flows into your palms, oil that heals, restores, and anoints. Can you feel the warmth enveloping you as you read these words? This is not a product of your imagination, it is heaven's oil penetrating the veil, confirming your selection and assuring you that your prayers have not gone amiss. Every cry was treasured in heaven's vessels, and now those vessels are tipping over. Michael implores, stop. Cherish this moment. It is sacred. Keep it close. And remember this essential truth, you are more proximate to your breakthrough than you can perceive. The blessing you once thought to be years away is already arriving at your threshold. The breakthrough you deemed insurmountable is currently forming out of sight. The relationship you feared had ended is beginning to awaken. The financial bonds you believed would confine you indefinitely are already beginning to unravel. However, there is a caveat, do not lose your faith in this moment. Refrain from disregarding the truths your spirit already understands. Should you choose to walk away at this juncture, you will close off the possibilities that are on the verge of manifesting. Heaven proclaims, communicate to them that their miracle is nearer than the next dawn. Inform them that their resolution is closer than their forthcoming breath. Dear one, let us pause here. Observe your hands. You might perceive them as void of substance, yet in the spiritual realm, they are radiant, open, and poised to receive the blessings that heaven is bestowing upon them. Imagine golden oil cascading into your palms, an oil that heals, restores, and sanctifies. Do you not feel that warmth as you engage with these words? This is not a figment of your imagination, it is the divine oil permeating the veil, reminding you of your chosen status, affirming that your fervent prayers have not been in vain. Each cry has been collected in heaven's vessels, and those vessels are now tipping over. Michael urges, halt. Do not let this moment slip away. It is sacred. Embrace it. Yet, I must also remind you that the countdown is real. 10 seconds remain. Every moment of hesitation is significant in this process, hence, you may feel an urgency, a divine discomfort, an ache that compels you not to look away, not to pause, and not to exit. This is not merely about acquiring more information, it is about personal transformation. Your life will be irrevocably altered if you allow this moment to fully permeate your being. You will find yourself unrecognizable in the mirror of your future, liberated from the chains that currently burden you. Conversely, if you dismiss this opportunity or walk away, you might find yourself shackled for longer than was ever intended. The time to decide is now. Heaven is observing your response. Do not think you are navigating this alone. Even now, I perceive in the spiritual realm that your loved ones in heaven are drawing near. The one you mourn, whose absence still lingers painfully, is closer than you might realize, whispering, "Do not surrender. Do not relent now. This is the moment you have awaited." Heaven is not silent, heaven is advocating on your behalf. The very skies above are charged with illumination because of this message. And Michael, his eyes ablaze, is pointing directly at you, declaring, "Child of God, cease your flight. Cease your doubt. Cease skimming the surface. Listen." Dear one, I must reiterate why this moment feels so weighty upon your chest. It is because heaven's time is intersecting your timeline. Such intersections, where the eternal collides with the mortal, are rare. It is when the veil becomes so sheer that each breath carries profound significance, and this is one of those moments. Do you question why you cannot tear your gaze away? Why your heart races as if something monumental is about to unfold? Your spirit is aware of what your mind has yet to grasp. This is not simply a message, it is an announcement from heaven, heralding your transformation, proclaiming your liberation, affirming that those things you believe to be lost are on the brink of revival. Archangel Michael has not merely waited for days but for ages for this moment to reach you, for every phase of your journey has been leading to this pivotal moment. Do you recall the nights spent whispering in darkness, when you felt too feeble to voice your needs yet something deep within you silently cried, "Help me, God"? Do you remember realizing that you could no longer bear your burdens? Heaven remembers your pleas. Michael was dispatched during those hours. Though invisible to your eyes, he stood guard at your threshold, defending you against the darkness that sought to silence you forever. Although you did not hear him, his sword clashed with adversaries in unseen realms, ensuring your survival for today. That is why, even when you thought you would crumble, you persevered. Even in moments when you believed it was over, something compelled you to push forward. This was no mere stroke of luck, nor coincidence, it was Michael standing firm until this day. And now he stands before you, speaking, imploring, commanding, "Do not squander this moment, child of God. If you depart now, you abandon what heaven has fiercely protected for years." Beloved, I discern something significant in the Spirit, a great book larger than mountains, radiant with a light so intense it blinds the darkness. This is the book of destiny, chronicling the names of God's children alongside the details of their callings, their blessings, their inheritances. Angels scrutinize its pages daily, tracking the alignment of your life with what has been inscribed. I see your page, it is marked by fire, tears, and prayers. For years, it lay closed, awaiting the moment its seal would be broken. Now, Michael touches that page with his sword, the seal fractures, the fire ascends higher, and heaven declares, "Finally, the moment has arrived." Finally, the waiting concludes. Finally, the narrative resumes. This is why you cannot look away, the story that was once on hold is being revived. Yet, here is a crucial point to consider, the enemy has always dreaded this moment. Every distraction, every trial, every heartbreak you experienced was orchestrated to divert you from this hour. His aim was to wear you down so you would care less, to wound you so you would lose hope, to numb your senses so you would overlook the sacred. Yet, here you stand, and this prospect unnerves him because once you truly embrace this word, once you internalize it in your heart, the chains he wrapped around you will disintegrate. You must remain present. You must continue reading because your perseverance in this very moment is critical to your success. Imagine yourself standing at the threshold of a gate. Behind you stretches a long path of pain, betrayals, tears, shattered dreams. Before you lies a garden so vibrant it is nearly incomprehensible. Flowers bloom where your heart was once desolate, rivers flow where your spirit was parched, laughter resonates where your soul only knew silence. And this gate is open for only a fleeting moment. Michael holds it ajar, his hand trembling with urgency, calling out, "Step in now. Do not hesitate. Do not doubt. This is your opportunity." Yet, the decision lies with you. Do you remain outside, gazing back at your suffering? Or do you step into the garden that has been prepared for you? This is the urgency, this is the choice. This is why God has sent this message. Furthermore, allow me to assure you with all the love of heaven that you have been more critical of yourself than God has ever been. You may have questioned your worth, doubting you deserve redemption, thinking your mistakes disqualify you, believing God has abandoned you. But heaven's roar is resolute. God asserts, "My child, your errors were already borne on the cross. Your sins are wholly cleansed. Your failings were forgiven even before they occurred. I am not here to chastise you, I am here to redeem you." That is the intention behind Michael's message, not one of condemnation but of urgency. His sword is raised not to shame you but to liberate you. He implores you to cease running, cease doubting, cease believing you are unworthy. God chose you long before you were aware of His existence. Furthermore, you must recognize that this message encompasses more than just yourself. While it is indeed personal, it possesses generational implications. What God is bestowing upon your life now will resonate through your family, your children, and all those connected to you. The curses that sought to ensnare your lineage will be severed here and now. Patterns of loss, poverty, and betrayal will disintegrate at this juncture. Michael's sword is breaking not merely the chains that bind you but also those afflicting generations to come. This is why the urgency is paramount. If you withdraw, the cycle will persist. However, if you remain, listen, and open your heart, the cycle will cease. Future generations will honor your name because you embraced this moment. And hear this, you are not late. The enemy may whisper that you have missed your opportunity, that the time has elapsed, that chances have vanished. God assures us, "I redeem time. What was lost, I restore, what was wasted, I return." Do not succumb to the false belief that it is too late. In heaven, there are no expiration dates for those who possess faith. Today, everything you considered buried is being resurrected. Forgotten dreams are coming back to life. Hopes you thought you had buried are beginning to stir. Promises you ceased to await are now approaching you once more. This is why Michael urges you to stop. Listen. Receive. For the resurrection is upon us. Beloved, do you recognize what your spirit is currently experiencing? This is not merely encouragement, it is activation. Heaven is not only offering comfort but also unlocking divine power. For too long, the enemy has led you to believe that you were powerless, that your prayers were mere whispers lost in the wind. Yet God proclaims, every prayer you uttered was a seed, and I have stored them in the heavenly soil. Now the rains are falling, and the seeds are beginning to sprout. This is the source of the unusual stirring within you, the fire deepening as you read. It is not simply an emotion, it is an awakening. You are awakening to your true essence, the cherished one whom heaven has watched over all along. Michael's compelling call is not merely about safeguarding your blessings, it is a reminder of your authority. You are not subject to the whims of darkness. In truth, darkness has trembled at the prospect of you stepping into this moment, and now you find yourself here. Beloved, I perceive in the Spirit that your life once resembled scattered ashes, fragments lost to heartbreak, betrayal, closed doors, and disappointments that shattered your spirit. You believed those ashes could never be gathered again. Yet, here lies the divine mystery: God creates beauty from ashes, not in spite of them, but through them. He takes the very remnants of what you deemed ruined and transforms them into something new and glorious. The oil of joy flows most abundantly from the heaviest ashes. The garment of praise shines brightest where despair previously reigned. And you, my child, are about to wear that garment. Michael holds it even now, draped across his arm, ready to place it upon your shoulders if you accept it. Can you feel it? The burden of despair lifting, the heaviness beginning to dissipate. This is heaven preparing you to don glory instead of shame. Allow me to impart a truth the enemy never wanted you to know: you were never alone in your struggles. During those nights when you thought, nobody understands, nobody hears, nobody knows, heaven was closer than your own breath. Michael himself leaned low in your room when you felt abandoned. Angels wept alongside you. God cherished your tears, ensuring that not a single drop fell unnoticed. You were not overlooked, you were defended. This moment is the proof. If heaven had not safeguarded you, if Michael had not stood watch over you, you would not even have the breath to hear these words. This realization should shake you, reminding you of how chosen, preserved, and protected you truly are. Beloved, your survival is the loudest testament that your purpose remains vibrant. But heed my warning: the peril of this moment lies in distraction. The enemy understands that he cannot hinder heaven from delivering what is destined for you. Therefore, he will attempt to prevent you from receiving it. He will whisper, "It is just words. It doesn't matter. You can read later." Yet, Michael roars above those falsehoods now. Do not hesitate. Do not doubt. Do not dismiss, for the alignment is too precise. The very heavens are open at this moment. Your miracle is poised, awaiting your affirmation. Later is not an option. Later is a deception. Now is where salvation resides. That is why every moment of your focus is sacred. Your decision to continue reading signifies a declaration of faith. You are telling heaven, I believe. I receive. I will not miss this. And God is already responding. Beloved, envision a heavenly courtroom. The accuser stands, highlighting your failures, vociferously condemning you, insisting that your blessings be withheld. For years, he has presented case after case against you. But then, Jesus stands forth, revealing his hands, his scars, his blood, and the courtroom falls silent. Michael enters, holding the scroll inscribed with your name, declaring, "Time's up. The case is closed. The blessing is delivered." Can you perceive it? The gavel strikes, the chains fall, the doors swing open, and what has been delayed for years is now set in motion. This is why this moment feels like thunder in your chest. Heaven's court has ruled in your favor. And what follows next? Acceleration. Matters that have stagnated for years will now progress in mere days. Prayers that lingered unanswered will suddenly break open. Opportunities you thought were lost will resurface, knocking at your door. Relationships you believed were beyond revival will find new life. Financial burdens you assumed were permanent will begin to crumble. Healing you thought was unattainable will manifest. But all of this begins with your affirmation. It all commences with your decision to stay, to listen, to open yourself up. Michael affirms, the river flows. Now taking the plunge, beloved, listen closely because this next revelation is one the enemy has labored tirelessly to conceal. You are not merely a recipient of blessings, you are also a vessel of them. The pain you experienced was not in vain. It has been sculpting you into a person who can not only endure storms but also guide others through them. This is why others have consistently sought your counsel, coming to you with their burdens. Even during moments of emptiness, you still gave of yourself. You were being prepared as a vessel for divine purpose. Michael states that the blessings approaching are not solely for your upliftment but will overflow through you. Those connected to you will experience the ripple effects of heaven's release. Herein lies the divine mystery. By remaining present and engaging with this message, you are not only unlocking your destiny, but also the destinies of those around you. Heaven is interweaving a broader narrative through your obedience. Beloved, consider the word "stop" that Michael exclaims. This is not a harsh reprimand, it is a rescue. Picture a child running towards a cliff, unaware of the peril before them. A compassionate parent would not merely murmur softly, but would urgently shout, "Stop!" Not to harm, but to save. That is precisely what heaven is doing for you right now. God recognized how close you were to giving up, to missing the alignment, to entering into unnecessary suffering. And through Michael, he implores you, stop. Do not overlook this. Do not abandon what I have prepared for you. This exhortation is love concealed as urgency. If you feel a tremor within, it is because heaven is shattering the veils that have kept you blind. Furthermore, I must inform you that restoration is not forthcoming, it has already begun. Even now, as you read, transformations are taking place around you. Individuals who previously dismissed you are now reconsidering. Situations that once seemed insurmountable are bending. Closed doors are loosening. Your spirit may not fully perceive it as of yet, but the movement is already in progress. Michael states, "Tell them the miracle is not tomorrow, it is now." What they feared was lost is already revived. This is why your heart races, why you feel invigorated, why there is an intangible stirring within. Heaven's current flows surrounding you. Yet, I must caution you, not everyone in your vicinity will celebrate your breakthrough. Some may be envious. Some may express doubt. Some may even attempt to drag you back. That is why heaven is sharpening your discernment. You will require Michael's sword to sever ties with voices that were never intended to guide you. God has declared that this season is one of clarity. Do not conflate noise with wisdom. Do not equate proximity with loyalty. I will reveal who is truly supportive of your journey. And beloved, while this may cause discomfort, this revelation is part of your liberation, for you cannot step into the fullness of your destiny while carrying individuals who secretly desire your failure. Heaven loves you too much to allow false hands to grasp your promise. Beloved, once more, take a moment to pause and breathe. Do you feel the weight lifting even now? This is no coincidence. Heaven is exchanging your burdens for peace, your fears for courage, and your sorrows for joy. Michael's presence is profoundly tangible around you as he pours strength into your spirit. For too long, you have endured life on fragile hope, barely holding on. Now, heaven is imbuing you with divine endurance. This is why the urgency is palpable, the time for mere survival is concluding. You are transitioning into a state of thriving, a realm of abundance, and a fullness that is divine. The enemy desires for you to overlook this truth. But Michael states unequivocally, no more. This child is crossing over. Beloved, take a moment to reflect upon your life. Can you see how every season, even the painful ones, has contributed to your preparation? The betrayals that shattered you have honed your discernment. The loneliness that emptied you has enabled you to hear God in silence. The failures that brought you humiliation have fostered a humility that will ground you amidst an influx of success. None of it was in vain. Michael whispers to you, inform them that even the scars are crowns. Even the ashes are altars. Even tears can be treasures. This is precisely why the adversary made such efforts to shroud you in regret. For if you were to awaken to the truth that even your suffering serves your glory, you would stand unwavering. And now, this realization is dawning upon you. You are beginning to perceive the divine thread intertwining through your turmoil. Once you grasp this, your narrative transforms from one of tragedy to one of testimony. Dear one, take a moment to reflect on your life. Can you discern how each season, even the most painful, has been a hidden preparation? The betrayals that once shattered you have equipped you with discernment. The solitude that once emptied you has enabled you to hear God's voice in silence. The humiliations of failure have fostered a humility that will stabilize you amidst future triumphs. None of these experiences were in vain. Michael whispers, inform them that even scars are crowns. Even ashes can serve as altars. Even tears are treasures. This is why the enemy endeavored so vehemently to confound you with regret, because should you ever comprehend how your pain has been working in your favor, you would walk with unshakable confidence. Now, you are indeed beginning to recognize this profound truth. You are witnessing the heavenly thread that is intricately woven through your chaos. Upon this realization, your entire narrative transitions from one of tragedy to one of testimony. Beloved, I perceive in the spiritual realm a door. It is tall and ancient, engraved with symbols beyond your understanding, emanating a light that feels vibrantly alive. As you stand before it, hesitantly aware of the unknown that lies beyond, Michael stands beside you, his hand firmly on the handle, his gaze burning with urgency. He declares, "This is the door your ancestors longed for. This door is the culmination of your prayers. It is your tears that have unlocked it. Yet only you can pass through it. Only you can claim what is rightfully yours." Beloved, your hesitation does not stem from unworthiness, rather, it is the enemy's fearful whispers that hold you back. But God instructs you, do not fear. Step forward. This door is yours. The moment you choose to move through it, all that lies behind you will lose its hold. Chains will shatter without resistance. The darkness will yield to dawn, and the narrative you have known will no longer dictate the one you are yet to live. I must emphasize this, beloved, time itself is being redeemed for you. You might believe that too much time has elapsed, that you are too late, that opportunities have slipped away. But heaven is not bound by the constraints of earthly time. God can elongate, condense, multiply, and bend time for His children. The seasons you once deemed wasted will return to you as multiplied blessings. The periods you thought were barren will bloom abundantly. Michael urges, tell them they have not squandered time. Inform them that time is now yielding to them. This is why the urgency is paramount, because when heaven aligns time in your favor, you must not hesitate. Every moment is a seed. Every decision to keep moving forward and to remain open is an act of faith that hastens the arrival of what is meant for you. This current moment is charged with life because heaven's clock is chiming for you. Beloved, listen closely. God is not merely rescuing you from your past hurts, He is liberating you from yourself, your doubts, fears, and patterns of self-sabotage. For far too long, you have accepted the lies that claimed you were insignificant, incapable, and overlooked. But heaven is dismantling those agreements. Now, Michael raises his sword, not only against evil forces but also against the falsehoods residing in your mind. He proclaims, no more. This child will no longer view themselves as weak. This child will no longer feel unwanted. This child will recognize they are chosen. As you receive these affirmations, something profound is already transforming within your identity. You are beginning to perceive yourself as heaven has always seen you, radiant, powerful, and immeasurably beloved. This shift constitutes the true miracle, for once you embrace your identity, everything else will align itself to that truth. Beloved, are you aware of the trembling within you as you absorb these words? It is your spirit recognizing their truth before your mind can fully grasp it. For years, you have longed for validation, that you are not forgotten, that your struggles hold significance, that your prayers have not been in vain. This is your validation. Heaven has sent Michael to implore, pause. Do not abandon God. Do not overlook this moment. You may not feel adequately prepared, but readiness is not what God seeks, He values your willingness. Right now, your intent to remain present and open-hearted is sufficient for heaven to pour forth rivers of grace into your arid places. Can you not already sense it? That subtle lifting of despair, that warmth pressing against your chest, this is not mere imagination. It is the Spirit of God drawing near and whispering, "At last, you are hearing me, beloved." In the spiritual realm, I see a vast battlefield. It extends widely, and at its heart rests a throne, your throne, the seat of your calling, the space heaven designated for you before time began. Surrounding it are shadows that have fought relentlessly to keep you away, hurling arrows of doubt, betrayal, and fear. You believed the struggles of your life were arbitrary, but they have consistently centered around this throne. Michael has stood by you through it all, shielding you even when you were unaware of his presence. Now, the enemy is finally weary, his weapons are shattered, and his lies have been disclosed. The throne shines brighter than ever, awaiting your claim, your authority. Beloved, do not delay. Do not heed the whisper that tells you that you are unworthy. Michael reassures us that the blood of the Lamb has already granted you worthiness. Your rightful place is established, it is time for you to claim it. And here is a truth you must comprehend with reverent awe: your breakthrough is not forthcoming from the outside, it is emerging from within. God is not sending you leftover scraps from heaven's table. He is awakening the inherent treasures nestled in your spirit. The courage you believed you lacked is already within you. The wisdom you thought was obscured rests dormant in your soul. The strength you presumed was absent is alive and ready within your bones. This message does not plant something new, it unlocks what has been buried. That is why you feel the fire stirring in your chest as you read. Your spirit remembers its true identity, authority, and divine inheritance. Once it awakens, nothing can return it to slumber. Beloved, you are not merely receiving a word, you are undergoing a rebirth in its illumination. Consider, beloved, how many times you almost surrendered, yet here you stand. Reflect on the doors that have closed, yet you persevered. Think of the voices that insisted you were insufficient, yet something within you refused to perish. That resilience was heaven's mark upon you, an unexplainable endurance proving you were chosen. Now, Michael asserts, tell them they have endured for this moment. Tell them their survival was a prophecy. Your mere existence is proof that heaven has unfinished business with you. The enemy would not have pursued you so ferociously if you were not a formidable threat to his domain. But the reality of you still being present, still breathing, still actively seeking is the evidence of his defeat. You are a walking testament to victory, even before the miracle manifests. And now, the miracle is poised to align with the reality of who you already are.